It takes about 3 years from beginning to end before you actually are ever tasting the wine in the tasting room. So we're patient for alcoholics.
So
Very patient.
hey everybody, I am here today. This is Ivan Knapp, and Ivan is the chef. We are at Heath Sparkling
Wines.
Wines.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it's a mouthful. We said it's a happy mouthful.
Right.
And I'm also here with Karen Benson. Karen has been a member here for about 3 years, and she's introduced me to this wine, and that's wonderful, if I could say so myself. And we are having the wonderful opportunity today with Ivan to do a wine pairing. And I know sometimes that can be a little overwhelming for people to think about, what am I going to serve that with? How do I know? And so he's going to talk a little bit about that today and maybe demystify how you can kind of plan to serve wine with something that pairs with it so that it brings out the best in what you're eating and the best in what you're drinking.
Heck yeah. Well,
That's
happy to
it.
help. Happy to help.
Take it away. Ivan, tell us a little bit about yourself first.
So I'm the chef here at Heath Sparkling. I've been here now 3.5 years. I've been on property since 2016, so I guess going on my 10th year now. I'm a Fredericksburg native. Come back and left a handful of times, but last time I decided I was going to leave, I realized this wasn't as bad of a place as I thought. And so I decided to stay. Mainly when you've got another winery opening up every couple of months, it's like adult Disneyland here. And so being that I've worked on property for a very long time, I've seen the growth and the direction our owners, Brian and Jennifer Heath, have steered us into. And watching this growth, I felt like I finally needed to be a part of it. And so I jumped from the restaurant to this side of the property. And so my joy for bubbles, or sparkling, it bubbles over into my joy as well for good food. Because for me, life is too short to let everybody else drink all the good wine and eat all the good food. You have to do it and share it with those that you love while you can, because you never know what tomorrow's going to give you.
I love it.
The bite I have, being that we're in fall and football season, the bite that I have constructed for the first one, this is a deconstructed chicken wing. You know, we've got a lot of really burly men that their wives are drinking sparkling, and so I thought what better way to cross the two than have the bubbles and that fried chicken wing experience. Because the number one pairing in Texas, whether you believe it or not, with sparkling and champagne, y'all, is fried chicken.
Really?
Yes, ma'am. And
wow.
so this bite that I've created, it's my way of getting around making fried chicken without us having to smell like a fryer in the back of the kitchen. And so
that is a thing.
Yeah, it's intended to look like an over-fried sunny side up egg, and that bottom is the chip. And the egg white is the ranch, and the egg yolk is the buffalo sauce. Oh, yeah, and that egg yolk's running. Oh, yeah. And so what we'll do is, y'all, when you're ready, y'all hop into the sip of the wine, and maybe do a sip or two. You're going to get that Granny Smith, that pear, and then when you're ready, after that's hit the palate, and you're ready to hop into the bite, yeah, right, bright and crisp.
That is. Yeah.
And so the bite, when y'all are ready, this chip is thin enough, it's going to dissolve on your palate, and y'all can take the whole thing. And so for me, this bite, we've always talked about that fried chicken pairing. And I personally, I wanted to cross these two, and I felt like this is a very clever way to get all of that flavor into one tiny bite.
And it really does taste like it.
As I go to undo this, I'm not going to, because mainly as I get to the end, instead of popping this bottle, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it very quiet. And this noise that lack of noise we're going to make, do y'all know the name of this? No. That's called the whisper.
Oh.
And we've opened that bottle without any incident. I know that's nowhere near as fun as popping it.
Wow.
But when you pop a bottle, y'all, you're shocking all the carbon dioxide out of the wine, negating all the work that we put into this wine. Now, I twisted the bottom of the bottle.
Yeah. The bottom
Let
of the bottle.
pressure
held on here
held
and
the cork.
twisted the bottom.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Because I've always twisted the cork.
Yeah.
I'm doing it backwards.
And there's sometimes you have a chance of breaking that cork off, especially if you go back and forth. So whichever way you start twisting, you have to keep going that way.
Stay with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've always been told that it's more classy to not have the pop.
You know, I won't disagree.
Yeah.
It's a real good way.
And tell me about this. Tell me what this does.
So this
when you
little-
put that little silver thing on there.
Yeah, this little disc, what it does, it's called a drop stopper, and this breaks the surface tension in the neck of the bottle. So when I go to pour, it's basically that wine is hitting that surface, And because there's no surface area for the oxygen to get and release that carbon dioxide, it keeps the quality much longer.
Wow.
Do that.
Okay.
So now what I've poured for y'all next, this is our flagship sparkling. The first sparkling we ever made. What we do here is we make champagne. We just can't call it that because we're not in
Champagne.
France. So that means but our first entry into the San Francisco Wine Chronicle competition was the first one we had, a vintage previous, the Blanc de Blanc. It got a gold right off the bat that first year.
Wow.
So it was a little bit of a testament to what we're doing here. Our winemaker Jason, he's been here now 20 years. He's the most decorated winemaker in the state of Texas. And in my opinion, he's the second most in the U.S. I think this year he might overtake somebody. We'll see. And so with sparkling is a natural product, especially with the style we do, the method champenois. So doing secondary fermentation in the bottle gives us these very beautiful tiny bubbles y'all see coming from the bottom of your glass.
So a very important aspect of drinking sparkling wine is the right glass.
Absolutely. And so there are some people that have opinions about the flute versus the coupe. I always say what works best for you. Like what feels best in your hand, what makes the wine taste the best to you. Now, so the next one I have for y'all here, the Euphoria, has a blend of 5 different grapes in it. It is Chenin Blanc, Viognier, Chardonnay, Trebbiano Toscano, and Semillon. And so with that many grapes, this blend, we intentionally use grape varietals to steer the ship instead of using chemicals in our production.
So tell us what we have here.
The bite here, as we're kind of going into the fall, winter, I wanted to make sure that we encompass something a little Texas, but also being that we're coming up to the new year, I wanted to make sure that we got all of our good luck in one bite. And so this is a Texas bruschetta. It's Texas caviar, so black-eyed peas, bacon, shallots, red bell pepper, collard greens, and then Dijon mustard. And then the wine y'all are drinking is used in this recipe as well. And then it's on a little crostini with a time-whipped ricotta. And then just really simple little microgreens there. And so y'all feel free to hop into the bite.
Okay. Do we need to take a sip right before we?
No, you're okay. As long as you've got a little bit of experience on your palate,
we're good to
absolutely.
Jump in. Okay.
Now, and as they're doing this bite, the sip before was a little more right in the middle of the palate, kind of a little sweeter than that first one we had. And so what's going to happen here now with this savory aspect of this bite, with all the components that we have, it's going to make the bubbles really lively on their palate, and that sugar, that sweetness is going to disappear.
Okay.
At least it does for me.
Here it goes. Oh wow, that was really amazing.
Very lively, right?
Very lively, and I still, have some of this flavor going on.
It didn't fully disappear, right? Now, I like this, y'all. This wine is my spicy food accompaniment. So Thai, Vietnamese. If y'all are into fattier cuts of fish and do sushi, this is really great with sushi. Personally though, I am a little more casual. I have a potato chip for every single one of these. And for me, with this one, it's Ruffles barbecue potato chips.
Oh, okay.
I'm just honest, right? I'm not always gonna go out of my way and make something elevated or something fancy. Sometimes just
we've got the 2 menus going on here. We've got the chef prepared, and then we have, should we call it Texas Bubba?
Yeah, right.
Texas Bubba for Texas Bubba.
Right. You might be onto something. So what little tool I brought out here is this is an assistant for when you're opening bubbles. I am a hand drummer, and so there are nights when I'm trying to open a bottle for my wife, and my grip's just not wanting to work with me. So this is really great for me, but also anybody with arthritis or any kind of like grip issues. What it'll do is when you go to put this around the bottle, and this is after I've undone the cage. I'm just doing this as a little showcase, but I will pierce that cork. I can undo it here afterwards if I would like. And then with that cork pierced, I'll turn the bottle and I'll hold that in place. And we got a little pop there. But this is a really good way to pierce that cork and help you open that. And,
I need one of those.
Especially if you're worried about with the towel flying off and hitting something.
Exactly.
You know, when you pop a bottle, by the way, the cork is moving at roughly about 27 miles an hour.
Wow.
So treat it like a loaded gun. Point it at your friends. Totally kidding. Bad joke. And so I love this little piece of equipment. It's called a Visky, and we have them here if you ever want to come grab them.
100%. I'm gonna go home with one of these today.
All right. I know.
I'm thinking I need some of these.
And some of those too.
And these.
Okay, tell us
Now,
what we're pouring now.
This next one here, we're gonna have a little bit of a color shift. This has taken a white grape, Pinot Grigio, and we have crushed that grape and we've left it on its skin. And the skin contact with the juice, this is what the Italians call Ramato style, meaning copper in Italian.
Oh,
So in
kinda
one
has that
glass,
copper color, yeah.
we've done in a French method with an Italian style rosé. And so this guy, it's gonna have a little more weight on your palate, a little more presence. I pour this for most people in my life, y'all, that don't drink sparkling. This is the beer, the cider, and the bourbon drinkers I pour this for, because this one, it makes them feel acknowledged. They can smell and taste typically one note. And they're like, I get what's happening in this glass today.
It
But
feels
also,
familiar.
It does. And also it goes great with smoked meats, pulled pork,
Oh.
brisket tacos, you know, of course a staple, and as my little boy gets older, mac and cheese I'm sure is a staple. So while he's having mac, we're gonna be having this. So.
There you go.
But it's also a really good cheese board accompaniment. So it'll go with probably about 95% of what's on the table. This also really goes great in the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and Easter. Especially you do some herb lamb with this, that's the way to go.
Wow, cool.
And so,
let's do it.
Yeah,
Can we
hop
try?
into it.
Okay,
Yeah,
here we
she's
go.
been ahead of you. She's the joy is bubbling up from within her.
I snuck one in.
Now, as we talk about pairings, the bite I have in front of y'all, we've got the herbed almonds from our K estate. We've made it to where you can grab a bag with your allocation or on the way out the door, and I call them the CYA almonds, is the cover your butt almonds. Because you have somebody, so they're covered in herbes de Provence, olive oil, and salt. And so these herbed almonds, we've taken them, and underneath them, you see the ones coated in white. Those are those same herbed almonds covered in chocolate and powdered sugar. We've made what we call Viking chow here. Because, I mean, it can't be puppy chow. There's no cereal, there's no peanut butter. And if the Vikings ever made it that far into Spain, they would have totally made these.
Okay, here we go. So
Yeah.
there's the covered in chocolate.
And so I love to give a sweet and savory direction with this pairing because everybody's a little different what they like. And so the whole reason we do the pairings that we do is to show the versatility, to break you out of the comfort zone and the stigma of where bubbles belong. And for us, bubbles belong throughout the entirety of your day.
Somebody told me that drinking champagne was also cleaner.
Yes,
Okay.
yes ma'am.
So that is a thing.
There is less residual sugar in most sparkling, especially brut style sparklings, than there is in a lot of reds and whites that you see. And so I personally, I have many nights to attest of drinking these bubbles and no headaches and no hangovers. So essentially what you know, the production style gives us the ability to keep these sugars very low. Initially, we were about 2 times as sweet as what we're drinking today when we first started.
Okay.
And so I love the direction of where we're at now. As a staff,
tweaked it.
we actually get to have input on the sugar levels. Now also it's a little bit of quality of our fruit. There are years where we won't make sparkling because the fruit quality does not match our standards.
Interesting. So you have had some years
Where we just outright
produce it.
Yes ma'am, yeah, in 2020 we didn't make a single sparkling.
Oh,
And so it was a good problem to have, but what we also realized in that time was after opening our doors in 2019 for the sparkling house, we didn't realize how popular sparkling was going to be. And in our first year, we had 4 years of our backstock sell out.
wow.
It's a good problem to have, but when you're doing it in the traditional method, that's actually really, makes us a little nervous because we get really close. It takes about 3 years from beginning to end before you actually are ever tasting the wine in the tasting room. So we're patient for alcoholics.
So
Very patient.
So about how old then is the wine that's in here?
So anytime you see a label on the wine, anytime you see the date that's attached with it, that's the year it was harvested. And so in the state of Texas, especially, so most of our sparkling, all the fruit comes from the High Plains, the Lubbock, Brownfield, Levelland area. There's only one of these that do come from California fruit-wise. Outside of that, everything else is all Texas. And so the harvest in Texas typically starts about middle of July, early middle of July, and can go as late as end of September, early October. And so for Texas, when you see that date, that's, typically
That's
summertime
when
is when the fruit was harvested.
Okay.
Anytime you don't see a date, which is very typical with a lot of champagnes, that means that they blended multiple years together, meaning non-vintage production.
Interesting.
Which, that is a very traditional practice.
Oh,
now,
it is?
So
it's not bad?
No, not at all. And actually in Champagne and in Europe in general, they have the ability of having high quality fruit year after year after year. Whereas with Texas, we're subject to drought, rainwater, tornadoes, hail, very intense heavy
Everything.
weather. And so
Yeah.
some years we'll have very intense droughts, and as Texans, we hate that because we have nowhere to swim. But in the wine industry, y'all, we love it because we know we're getting higher quality fruit from that year.
Oh.
So it's a love-hate relationship, right?
Okay.
You would think more rain gets better fruit, but actually
Right.
the fruit gets bigger, the skins get thinner, and the sugar levels drop.
Oh.
So yeah, it's especially as we get into harvest,
Mhm.
we want to make sure that we don't have any rain.
No rain.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I'll have my last sip to that. Can I do this one?
Oh yeah,
I-
absolutely.
oh, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
So I have just had a lesson.
All right. Now remember, as you
Oh,
enter the cage,
I could have put this on
you
here.
could, yeah, over the
first.
top.
Over the top,
Yes,
like that.
ma'am. Yeah.
That makes a difference.
And there you go. Then grip with
Okay.
that left hand,
Drip.
and then you don't have to worry about twisting anymore. Now
Okay.
push in real hard with this,
Okay.
and then twist the bottom of that bottle and hold that top part really tightly. There you go. All right.
I got a little surprise for you.
Okay.
It's a good
Okay.
sign.
Oh yeah. All right.
So, we have a tradition at
Mhm.
Texicureans, and by the way, thank you, Ivy. It's been so much
Yeah,
fun cooking
I'm
with you
happy
today.
y'all, yeah.
This has been amazing. Learning from you, you know so much about the sparkling wines here at Heath, and then also the fact that you're a chef and you were able to prepare these wonderful pairings for us today. But we say once we have, and we didn't really cook together, you cooked ahead of time.
Yeah.
You are now a Texicurian, and
Aw.
so I have this apron for you.
Really?
And
Oh.
Karen, guess what? I have one for you